Good evening. Welcome to Signaturetv News. I am Barry Kumo Ado. First, let's take a look at the headlines. Enugu Half Marathon sets pace for investment opportunities in the state. NARC unbundles TCN establishes new operator. In the foreign scene, Israeli police tighten security in Jerusalem ahead of Holy Fire ceremony. In sports, Iheanacho rejects Leicester's 65k weekly offer. Francis James of Plateau State has emerged winner of the maiden edition of Zenith Bank Coal City Half Marathon on Saturday in Enugu. For more update, Luke Umbo was there and now reports.
Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has assured Nigerians that his government will take marathon to a world-class level, which will help in making Enugu State an investment destination for leisure, sports, and tourism. The governor, who made this known during the award of prizes to winners in the 2024 Coal City Half Marathon, organized by the state government in partnership with Zenith Bank, promised that the marathon will draw athletes from across the world to Enugu. While congratulating the winners of the tournament, Mba assured participants that next year's event will be bigger and taken to the next level.
I want to, on behalf of the government of Enugu State, congratulate all the participants. We may have a few winners, but I want to let you know that the goal of this event is participation. And the fact that you participated in this event, you are also a winner, because that's the goal. But what is even more important is the desire of the state to take this event, the Enugu State Marathon, to the next level. In few years, I want you to note that the Enugu State Marathon is going to be part of the World International Athletics. It's going to be in that calendar. We're going to draw athletes across the world to Enugu State.
Also speaking at the event, the Enugu State Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Barrister Lloyd Ike Ekweremadu, thanked the governor for making the event happen and for participating fully in the marathon race. He said the governor's involvement during the race displayed lots of fitness and went a long way in motivating both the athletes and the people of their state.
I don't think there's any governor in Nigeria that is as fit as His Excellency Governor Peter Mba. If you doubt it, you can ask the security operatives. They struggled, as did I. So, but we are here. We're very impressed and we're very grateful, sir. Thank you for making this happen.
In her contribution, the Zenith Bank representative at the ceremony, Njideka Aro, described the governor as an action governor, applauding him for his good leadership and good governance, while thanking him for the opportunity given to Zenith Bank to partner with government in organizing the marathon.
In less than 1 year, with the governor taking the mantle of leadership, that road has reasonably been touched. So, Your Excellency, we appreciate your good work. We see good leadership, we see good governance, we see action, we see impact. You don't need to go too far to see it. Once you step out on your street, on your road, once you step out on your street, on your road, in your area, you will see it. So really, we are happy and we appreciate the opportunity and the privilege to partner with you. Yes. We want to thank you for this opportunity, and we want more opportunity to partner with you, really.
The event, which was a half marathon, saw Mr. Francis James from Plateau State emerge as the winner, going home with a sum of 1 million naira. Mr. Ismail Sajo from Cross River State, who took the second position, went home with a sum of 500,000 naira, while Nemfort Matthias from Plateau State came third, going home with a sum of 300,000 naira. In the female category, Kwamchi Humphrey from Plateau State came first and also went home with a sum of 1 million naira, followed by Agofob Charity from Delta State, who went home with a sum of 500,000 naira, while Muni Kitat Emmanuel came third and carted away the sum of 300,000 naira. Some of the winners have this to say.
I feel fine. I feel comfortable. It's been long. This is not my first time. I've been winning many competitions. My plan, I'll compete with them, and I want to even I compete with them, I want to beat them. I'll plan it good so that I should win the Kenya.
Honestly, my vision for her to see that the way I will put her through so that she can be the whole world champion, so that she can represent Nigeria in major competitions like Olympic and other competitions.
The Director of Sports, Enugu State, Mr. Boniface Onovo, extolled the State Governor, Peter Mba, for setting the pace of a marathon in Enugu. He expressed joy that the competition finally turned out fine and hitch-free, despite the challenges faced during the planning stages.
We are going to full time 42 kilometers this time. We use this one as a test run, but I can assure you we will improve on our areas of some deficiency to make it 100% achievement by next year.
A veteran journalist, Mr. Foster Chime, while commending the governor and participants for being part of the competition, said the competition will have a huge impact on the youths.
The 2024 Zenith Bank Enugu State Ministry and Force Coast City Half Marathon is a huge success. I've seen many marathons, both full and half, but this one, I tell you, is one out of the block. From the preparation to the actual final day today, I think I'll give them the Minister of Youth and Sports and the Honorable Commissioner from even His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, Barrister Peter Andubisimba, for approving and releasing money to organize this half marathon.
The event, which recorded visible excitement, had participants turn out en masse to cheer the people's governor, who participated largely in a marathon alongside athletes. Sports is always a uniting force in Nigeria, and the Enugu half marathon did just that. In Enugu, Luke Mbo reporting for Signature Television.
The Kano state government has denied reports that a journalist, Naziru Idris Yao, was on Friday injured after being hit by a stray bullet in the state house. According to a statement on Saturday by the Director General Media and Publicity, Sanusi Tofa, Yao escaped death following a stray bullet which hit him at the government house. As of the time of filing the report, there was no official statement either from the Kano government house or the State Police Command regarding the shooting. When contacted, the Public Relations Officer of the Kano State Police Command, SP Haruna Abdullahi, said the incident was yet to be reported to the command. However, Tofa, in an effort to set the record straight, noted that contrary to reports making the rounds, the journalist sustained injuries from a metal debris from an ongoing construction at the Kano State Government House. He stated that the true nature of the incident was revealed after investigations by medical personnel attached to the Government House. He urged journalists to always be careful and vigilant in the course of their duty. He pledged the government's resolve to constantly review and enhance existing safety protocols to prevent similar incidents in the future. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has restructured the Transmission Company of Nigeria by establishing the Nigerian Independent System Operator of Nigeria Limited. This development was announced in an order signed by the chairman of the commission, Sanusi Garba, and Vice Chairman Muslim Oseni in Abuja on Saturday. This is coming almost 4 years after the company said it was consulting stakeholders as it moves to implement the unbundling of a transmission company of Nigeria into two entities. The company said all market and system operation responsibilities will be transferred from TCN to the newly formed NISO. It added that the development aligns with the provisions outlined in the Electricity Act 2023, which offer clearer guidelines for incorporating and licensing an independent system operator. Following the privatization of the power sector in 2013, private investors took over the generation and distribution companies, while the TCN remained under the ownership and management of the federal government. Since then, TCN has operated under strategic departments, including two important components called the Transmission Service Provider and the System Operator. The National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, has urged stakeholders to accelerate progress towards ending the HIV epidemic in Nigeria. Director General NACA, Temitope Ilori, in a statement, urged stakeholders to unite and accelerate progress towards ending the epidemic in Nigeria. He was speaking ahead the first Nigeria HIV Prevention Conference scheduled for May 7th to 9th in Abuja. The theme for the conference is Accelerating HIV Prevention to End AIDS through Innovations and Community Engagement. Ilori identified objectives of the conference to include optimizing innovative HIV prevention approaches towards achieving epidemic control, promoting equitable and inclusive human rights-based approaches to HIV prevention. Others include strategizing for increased domestic funding towards community ownership and sustainability of HIV prevention programs. According to Ilori, stakeholders will explore a spectrum of innovative approaches and engagement strategies with a particular emphasis on the transformative role young people can play in driving change. President Bola Tinubu has given the assurance that his administration will continue to put in place policies for the industrialization of the country. According to a statement by the presidential spokesman, Ajorin Galali, the president disclosed this when he received a delegation of the African Association of Automotive Manufacturers and the Nigerian Automotive Manufacturers Association. The president, represented by his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, met the members led by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ms. Doris Uzoka Anite, on Friday in Abuja. He urged the delegation to ensure that the locally manufactured vehicles are of the highest standard that would stand the test of time and complement government's efforts in revitalizing the automotive industry. Tinubu urged the association to look into producing vehicles that will be affordable for all categories of Nigerians as government rolls out consumer credit for millions of Nigerians to purchase vehicles and other important goods and services. The delegation had earlier notified the president of their efforts to start manufacturing vehicles and spare parts in Nigeria. It said that a legislative bill to drive the automotive industry was being drafted and reviewed by the Federal Ministry of Justice. On the foreign scene, the Israeli police have taken extra measures this year, tightening security around the church and the old city in the light of the war and heightened tension in the city. The Holy Fire, which is an annual event, will be marked this year in a somber mood with the spectre of war in Gaza overshadowing the normally festive event as talks to secure a ceasefire still loom. The Holy Fire ceremony symbolizes Jesus' resurrection as one of the most colorful spectacles of the Easter season, usually attended by many Orthodox Christian pilgrims. The Holy Fire ceremony typically draws tens of thousands of worshippers to an imposing great edifice in the Holy Sepulchre that is believed to contain the tomb where Jesus lay 2,000 years ago. Dozens of people have reached the southern coast of England on Saturday by making the risky sea crossing from France in two rubber dinghies, the latest among thousands of asylum-seeking migrants who have arrived in Britain this year. Bobbing up and down along the waves of the English Channel on a clear morning, the boats sailed across with a French naval vessel following them until they reached English waters. The likely male passengers, some of whom were in orange life jackets and waving, were then taken on board a British Border Force vessel. The arrivals are a stark symbol of a challenge British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak faces on his signature pledge to tackle illegal migration and stop the boats ahead of a national election due later this year. More than 8,000 people have arrived in Britain so far this year on small boats, making the start of this year hard for such arrivals. Sunak is helping his flagship to deport those arriving in Britain without permission to the East African nation will deter people from making the dangerous cross-channel crossings. The government is helping to operate the first flights to Rwanda in 9 to 11 weeks. Hungary is looking forward to heightened economic and trade cooperation with China in the fields of digitalization and green finance, as they have become increasingly important for central banks across the globe. Deputy Governor of the Hungarian National Bank, Barnabas Viga, highlighted the important role of Chinese investors in boosting the Hungarian economy. Vigrag said the People's Bank of China, China's central bank, is the front runner in terms of a central bank digital currencies project, and Hungary hopes to deepen cooperation to foster sustainable growth. Deputy Governor added that central banks around the world are looking to accelerate green transition as green finance has become key in terms of promoting financial sustainability and long-term economic growth. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties between China and Hungary. Chinese President Xi Jinping will pay a state visit to Hungary in a few days. 2 children have been rescued from residential buildings in Rafah hit by an Israeli airstrike, Palestinian Civil Defense said on Saturday. A video from the Palestinian Civil Defense showed a child being carried out of the destroyed building by rescuers. A rescuer carried a second child past the rubble, while another person was carried down from the building on a stretcher to a waiting ambulance. At least 34,654 Palestinians have been killed and 77,908 wounded in Israel's military offensive on Gaza since October 7th. The Gaza Health Ministry said in a statement on Saturday. Hamas negotiators have arrived in Cairo Saturday for intensified talks on a possible Gaza truce that will see the return to Israel of some hostages. In sports, Super Eagles and Leicester City striker Kelechi Iheanacho has rejected a new deal from the club amidst interest from Unai Emery's Aston Villa. The 27-year-old striker has been subjected to just 10 league starts in the EFL Championships this season, with Enzo Maresca preferring Zambian Patson Daka to lead the line for the Foxes. Iheanacho alongside Wilfred Ndidi are at the tail end of their Leicester City career as their contract runs out in June 2024. While the defensive midfielder has set sights on a move to a Premier League top 6 side, Iheanacho isn't keen on extending the stay at the King Power Stadium. Reports say the highest scoring African in the history of FA Cup was offered an improved deal with a weekly wage of £65,000, but the Nigerian striker rejected the offer. That's the size of the package. Join us tomorrow for another interesting news rundown. I am Barikumo Ado. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.